Hello, friends. I figured I would open things up to the occasional audience question for videos. And so to start, I have a question from Patreon, which is from Maka Takahara. And the question is, what are your daily routines that keep you going? Not necessarily a schedule, but rather, do you do certain things daily-ish that help you feel good about yourself so that your skills and experience come through with ease? Or is that a thing? That is a thing. So my day-to-day changes depending on what project that I'm doing, whether or not there are family things or civic things that I'm involved with. But generally speaking, I start the day with some kind of exercise. 90% of the time, that's a walk out in the woods or out in the country. I am lucky in that although I live in the middle of my small town, I am minutes away from the outskirts, and the outskirts are old mining roads and logging roads and fields and farming areas and places where I can go out walking and about half the time never encounter another car or human being, and that's pretty wonderful. Only folks that I encounter are animal friends. So I see deer, I see foxes, raccoons, skunks, occasional coyote, and that's a delight. I like to see those. Say hello, little heron, hello, bunny, etc. So that's a nice way to start the day. It's good for the soul. I try to do that around sunrise. In the summer, that's a little bit harder because sunrise is about 4:30 in the morning. And although historically I've done that in years past, my daughter is at an age where most of her visit time is in the very late evening. That's when she's most social, and I want to take advantage of that. And so I stay up later. That means I get up later. So I'm not up at 4 o'clock for a sunrise walk the way that I am in the winter when sunrise is a little bit later in the day. I also don't tend to walk when it's over 73 degrees because that makes me miserable. I'm a cold weather person. And right now it has not dipped below 74 even in the middle of the night. So when I can't walk, sometimes I will, I have a pierogi that I'll sometimes take out on the water. Lakes, swamps, rivers, just sort of paddle around. In both of these instances, walking and paddling, I will usually listen to an audiobook. Sometimes I will think about a project that I'm writing, but it's a good chance to get some solitude outside of my studio in a larger natural sphere, which I find really nice and puts me in a good state of mind for the day. Also, probably not a bad idea to occasionally get some exercise, and that's my exercise. In the afternoon, usually after lunch, I will take a short nap. Usually it's a half hour. Sometimes it'll stretch to an hour and a half if I didn't sleep well the night before. But I find that a nap is good if I start to get groggy while I'm working. I will just pop over to the couch in the back of my studio and lay down for a little bit and catch a few winks, and that usually invigorates me, and I start back up in good shape. I know not everybody is in a position schedule-wise to take a nap. I know not everyone has the constitution for a nap. My wife, if she takes a nap, she's thrown for the whole day. Me, it's a great reset button, and I love it, and I do it probably about 5 days out of 7. Those are my big ones. Family time in the evening. So usually 7 o'clock or 7:30, I will wrap up whatever I'm doing. I'll go downstairs, and my wife and daughter and I will either watch a show together or eat dinner, play a game, or something along those lines. Not all the time. My kid's a teen. Sometimes she wants time to herself. But usually about 4 nights a week. And I try to stop work around that time regardless of whether or not we're doing a family thing or not, just because probably better for my body and just general constitution to not work all the time, which I am inclined to when I am home. Usually my work time is divided up between a big project and what I think of as an ode project, which is a project that someone else is expecting. So that might be for hire work, board game art, illustrations, poster stuff, things like that, or it might be commissions. Big project is usually whatever book that I'm working on or larger project. Even in instances where my ode projects are taking up most of my time, which sometimes happens, I will try to reserve 1 day a week for the big project so that it doesn't atrophy, so that it doesn't fall by the wayside. It's very easy to fall out of practice with a project or fall out of a project. And if you still maintain doing it once a week, then you're in usually pretty good shape. I will also sometimes do little hobby projects. So sometimes that's making a piece of furniture or a shelf for the studio. Sometimes it is something for someone else. Like I just made a couple of suits of armor that I wrapped up yesterday for a pair of nephews who are going to medieval times for their birthdays. I like that sort of thing because it's something I can step away from the desk to do. It's got a, you know when you're finished, which is nice, and it can be good, especially when I'm not feeling present in the work. If I'm doing something that is starting to feel a little bit monotonous, the inking or the coloring, both of which I like, but can fall into a bit of a routine of mindlessness. That's good because it gives me a chance to detour, and then when I return to it, I'm more mindful of what I'm doing. That's it, I think. That of excises excises all of the daily stuff, meals and errands and things along those lines, but it gives you a general sense of what I try to incorporate in the workday, into the workday in order to make it more beneficial for me overall. And as a general rule, I'm extremely happy, and a big part of that is having a lot of agency over my schedule. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions that I might be able to answer, either logistical ones like this about my own work habits, or things about how particular tools work, or what books might be beneficial for a certain thing, or stuff along those lines, please feel free to ask in the comments or to reach out to me on Blue Sky at Schweitzer Comics. I'm also occasionally on Tumblr and Instagram, although I'm less good about checking those. But in any case, I look forward to hearing from y'all, and I hope you have a great afternoon.